What's good? So today we have my man, Jim John. Jim John? Jim John. We're reacting to my man, Jim John. From what I know, an American business owner, entrepreneur, and also motivational speaker. So you might not be familiar with him, but you definitely would have seen a couple clips of him. Really old guy, but very well spoken. And I just saw this, I came across this video literally of him today, and he titled it, "If You Want to Be Wealthy and Happy, dot, dot, dot." So I was like, you know what? Couple million views. Let's check how much to be exact. 2.8 million views. Let's just see what Jim Jones is talking about. You know what I mean? Like I feel like every time I do see a clip of him, he's always speaking facts. So we can't go wrong. Let's see what he's talking about.
If you want to be wealthy and happy the rest of your life, just learn this lesson well. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. I have found in my experience that income does not far exceed personal development. Now, sometimes income takes a lucky jump, but sure enough, unless you grow out where it is, it'll usually come back where you are. Life has strange ways. If somebody hands you $1 million, best you become a millionaire quickly. So you get to keep the money.
That has to be a quote somewhere. Income does not exceed. What did he say there? We gotta run that
Learn
back.
to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. I have found in my experience that income does not far exceed personal development.
Yeah, that is some quote. Your income does not far exceed your personal development. That is actually incredible. So essentially, what my man is saying here is, no matter how much money you are given, if you don't have the personal development to be on the same level as that money that's being acquired, essentially you're going to lose it. Like, you're not going to be able to manage it. And that's kind of interesting because, like, you wonder sometimes why all these millionaires, billionaires, or not millionaires, but all these people who win the lottery and they win a couple million or a couple 100,000, they get all this money and then they always end up going broke, and you're like, how? Like, how is this possible? But it's because, like, their personal growth does not match the amount of money acquired. So, yeah, I mean, when an entrepreneur goes and makes a million, 10 million, like, not only does he have that monetary value to show that, hey, look, this is the work that I've put in, but he also has the personal growth. That's why I feel like when they lose it, they can easily go get it again. But that is an incredible quote, that your income never exceeds your personal growth.
Now, sometimes income takes a lucky jump, but sure enough, unless you grow out where it is, it'll usually come back where you are. Life has strange ways. If somebody hands you $1 million, best you become a millionaire quickly. So you get to keep the money. Otherwise, sure enough, it'll disappear. Somebody once said, if you took all the money in the world,
with the rich people,
divided it up equally among everybody, it would soon all be back in the same pockets. Success is something you attract, not something you pursue. So instead of going after it, you work on yourself. Personal development. Because true happiness is not contained in what you
become
get.
and not what you get.
Happiness is contained in what you become.
Scrub this out.
Now, if you're excited and you're ready to change, let me give you 3 steps to start life change that can change your life, your personality, your lifestyle.
This is for the ones that want to change their life, man.
Here's the steps. Number 1, find out how things work. To change your life, really, you need ideas.
Okay.
There isn't anything an idea can't change. And Schoff taught me the major problem is lack of an idea, not a problem. At first, I didn't have any money. I said to Mr. Schoff, I don't have any money. He said, that's not a problem. Now, see, up until then, I always thought it was. Right? I was confused.
Right.
He said, no, the problem is lack of an idea on how to create money and wealth. It isn't lack of money, it's lack of ideas. So if you get the ideas, see, you can change anything. Now, to get ideas, you need a constant study of finding out. If you wish to be successful, study success. If you wish to be happy, study happiness. If you wish to be wealthy, study wealth.
It's funny because he puts it so simply, but it's like, what he's saying is quite accurate. I mean, you want to be successful, you can study the pathways that people before you have already laid out, rather than trying to pave the way and make a new one. You want to be happy, all right, figure out what makes me happy. what am I doing when I'm at my happiest? Like, what am I physically doing? How does it feel? What am I seeing? What are my senses telling me? And then just figure out to recreate that as much times as you can.
Don't
Very
leave it to
interesting.
chance. Make it a study. Some people just go through the day with their fingers crossed. See,
Just
that
hoping
won't do it.
and wishing.
You've got to study the things that can change your economic, social, spiritual, personal life. Now, Schoff also said, when you find out something that works, put the information in your journal. Don't use your head for a filing cabinet. Put it in your journal so that you can do the next best thing. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Go over it. And if you repeat it, go over it, sure enough, someday, some mysterious day, the idea takes root, starts to grow, and shows up in your bank account, and your dress, and your personality, and your lifestyle. Now, if you're curious,
Number 2.
let me give you 3 ways to find out how to change anything. Any life direction, any dimension.
Okay.
Here's 3 ways to find out how to change anything. Number 1 is to read. All of the successful people I know and work with around the world, they're all good readers. Curiosity drives them to read. They gotta know. They just read. Become self-educated. Standard education will get you standard results. And you can check those numbers and see if that's what you want. But if you want to go beyond that, you now have got to become self-educated. One way to learn is from your own experiences. But another...
I like how he differentiated the difference between standard education and self-education. Standard education is literally going to college, getting your little degree, doing your exams, and going and finding a job. But self-education is something completely different. Self-education is where you go into the field yourself, you make mistakes, and you figure it out yourself. You see it firsthand, not from a book, from some philosopher who said this, that, and the other years ago. You go out, you make the mistake yourself, you see the consequences of that mistake on you. You face those real repercussions, and you understand, okay, this is how things work. 2 very different things.
The way to learn is from other people's experiences. See, one book might save you 5 years if you read it. Did you know there's books on how to be stronger, more decisive, be a speaker, be a leader, have a better effect on other people, develop your personality? Did you know there's books on that? Did you know that hundreds of successful people have written their stories in books and they wrote down how they did it, and people don't read it? How would you explain that? Now, you don't have to read half the night, but put this in your notes: 30 minutes a day. 30 minutes a day. Read something positive, something challenging, something inspirational, something instructional. At least 30 minutes a day. Become a good reader. Now, that's my opinion. Listen to the other lecturers, and listen to me, and make up your own mind. Don't be a follower. Be a student. Here's the second way to find out how to change your life. And that's to listen. Get around successful people and listen. Now, you can also learn from unsuccessful people. Take notes on both. Negative and positive. Find out what poor people read and don't read it. Right? That's good information.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Everybody always want to study the greats and how they, became what they became. But an easy way to avoid being like mediocre is study the ones who failed. Study the ones who made mistakes, the ones who didn't succeed, the ones who, were where you wanted to be but maybe fell off. Maybe they're not as big as the guy who didn't fall off, but study why they're not as big as the guy who's still on and why they fell off. Do you understand? Because all it takes is for you to understand what mistakes they made in order for you to avoid it. And I feel like life is very like binary sometimes. It's either something is or it isn't a lot of the time. So it's like, well, if you're not making the mistakes that this guy made in whatever industry, what's the alternative? Well, then you're making somewhat of the right choices, right? Or at least you're making different mistakes. You're not making the mistakes he made. So,
Learn from the negative. But now you can also learn from the positive. Get around successful people. Listen to what they say. Listen to how they say it. It's important. Now, here's some of the best advice I've got for the whole evening. Poor people ought to take rich people out to dinner and listen. That's some of the best I got. But you're right. Poor people don't usually take rich people out to dinner. The guy said he's rich, let him buy his own dinner. I'm not coming up with any money. You're lucky to get your own supper, let alone running around trying to find a rich man to feed. And the guy's behind. If a guy's not doing well, one of the first things he ought to do is find a guy that is doing well. And offer to buy him his dinner. Spend $50, $60, $80, $100. Go for the full 9 course. If you get a successful person to eat and talk for 2 hours, they're liable to drop ideas in your lap, change your life. Multiply your income by 2, by 3, by 5. But you're right. Poor people don't usually take rich people out to dinner. Now here's the third way to find out how to change your life. And that's to observe. You can pick up a lot of ideas just by watching. Get around successful people and watch. Here's why. Success leaves clues. Watch how the man shakes hands. Watch how the lady responds. People who do well do certain things over and over and over and over. And if you're clever, you can pick them up. Watch it all. If a guy's making $10,000 a month, I'd watch how he walks. Maybe that's it. Copy his funny little walk. Somebody says, well, that's kind of a silly walk. Say it's 10,000. I haven't got the money yet, but I got the walk. It's bound to start somewhere.
Yeah, it's a start.
What I ask you tonight is to be unusual and be a good observer of what's going on. You can pick up ideas that can change your life starting tomorrow. Just be a more careful observer. Now remember, there's 2 ways to see. One is called sight. See with your eyes. The other one is called insight. See with your mind.
There's 2 ways to see. One is called sight with your eyes. The other is insight with your mind. Okay, where's he going with this one?
See with your eyes, you'll see things. See with your mind, you'll see answers.
Okay.
Put your eyes and your mind to work. And the best advice on developing sight and insight is pay attention. Don't miss anything. Wherever you are, be there.
I feel like that's a really simple one, but I feel like I've seen also multiple content creators kind of speak on this and the power of just like paying attention. Like a lot of people kind of go through life, I feel like, or they say that a lot of people always go through life and they're just floating. They're just floating away in the wind, just being washed away with the river, with the water, just living, just there. But then there's the people that actually pay attention. There's people that notice people's demeanor and the way they look, or the direction they look at when they shake somebody's hand, or the way when they walk into a room they stand upright, or just the tiniest details. And these tiny details to a normal person is like, okay, what does that mean? That doesn't mean anything. But if you can collect enough of these, you can almost start to paint a picture of that particular person, or what that particular what the end goal is in that particular scenario. But that's a very interesting one, paying attention. Something I think we could all do a lot better.
Now, we've lingered a little bit long on number 1 here for personal development. Find out how things work, but it's so very important finding out. And I've given you 3 ways to find out. Now, here's the second step to personal development. Okay, number 1 was find out how things work. Here's number 2, go to work. If there's one thing to get excited over, that's it. Get excited over your ability to make yourself do the necessary things. What?
It's funny he says that right now because it's 1 a.m., half 1 a.m. in the morning, and I'm here making a video. But hey, I said, you know what it is, I'm not even tired, and realistically has to get done. Like, who even cares? Like, if I wouldn't have said that, nobody would have known it was that time right now. So
could you make yourself do starting tomorrow that would change it all? No, tell it. Now see, that's exciting. On any given day, you can massively change the direction of your life. Now here's the key to discipline. Start with the little disciplines, get excited over the little disciplines, And get right on those, because those will lead to the big ones. You can't handle the big challenges in life unless you take on the little ones. Make a list of all the things you can do. Get right on those. Discipline yourself for those, both for the results and for the muscle and for the practice. So that when life hands you some
That
big
routine of
challenges, you'll be
consistency.
ready, you'll have the muscle. But see, if you don't handle the small ones, you can't take care of the big ones. Here's what else it takes for life change. Self-motivation. Key phrase, self-motivation. I don't know why we call it self-motivation. It's really the only kind there is. You got to motivate yourself.
That's true.
And you don't want to give self-motivation away to somebody else and make it somebody else motivating you.
That's a good one. You don't want to give somebody else the power to motivate you. Rather than giving them the power to motivate you, learn how to motivate yourself. That's a very good one. That's a very good one. And I feel like it's important to highlight the differentiation between the two, because you can love Cristiano Ronaldo and use Cristiano Ronaldo to motivate you, but it will be 10 times more powerful if you're able to look in the mirror, tell yourself, I'm going to do this today, and motivate yourself. Because Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't know you. He doesn't really care about you. He's all the way over there doing what he's doing. Like, maybe he's motivating you through some videos, through some speeches or whatever, but his own motivation is not going to last forever. You spend a lot of time you spend the most time with yourself every day. So learn what works for you, learn about yourself and the ways you can motivate yourself. That's probably one of the most powerful things you can do. I mean, if you can do that, you're with yourself every day. If you know how to trick your mind into, okay, yeah, I'm fired up for this, there's no limit to what you can do. Whereas if you're waiting on Cristiano Ronaldo motivation, I just wish he was here to just, give me a speech. I'm looking on YouTube to see some videos, and there's only so much you can do.
The guy says, boy, if somebody just come by and turn me on. What if they don't show up? Right?
What was I saying? What if they don't
you
show
got
up?
to have a better plan for your life. You must
No one
now
else is gonna
take
motivate you
action
really but
on what
yourself,
you found
man.
out. Don't let your learning lead to knowledge. You'll become a fool. Let your learning lead to action. You can become wealthy. And there's many kinds of wealth. I understand that. Not just money. Money's one of the least of all values. I know some people with a lot of money that are very poor. Now, here's the third step to personal development, and we'll wrap up personal development. Step number 3, it's just a little caution, and all through life we need little cautions. This one simply says, don't try to beat the system. Find out how it works, work it, but don't try to beat it.
Work the system and don't beat it.
Some people learn
Interesting.
just enough to start slicing it, shading it, thinning it, cutting corners, and looking for cheap answers. See, don't fall for that. You'll wind up with a cheap life. Find out how it works best and do it that way.
Interesting.
Even
For
though
that-
it seems to take a little longer, do it right. Don't compromise with right. So if I had a
That one-
word
that one
with
was a
you
little
tonight,
vague, I think.
one-on-one, just you and me, I think my personal advice to you would be, this year, 1981, reach down inside of you and
1981
come up
this
with
was
some
made.
more of those remarkable human gifts. They're there, waiting to be utilized. And then change anything for you want to change. And I challenge you to do that because you can change. See, you don't ever have to be the same again after tonight, only by choice. Starting tomorrow, what are you going to do that'll make a change in your life's direction? Good question. What are you going to do starting tomorrow that'll make a difference?
If you were to ask yourself that every day, and you were to actually put those questions you ask yourself into action, imagine the difference you'd actually make in your life if every day you said, all right, cool, how can I make my life better today? What steps can I take to improve the situation I'm in as of right now? You would really take on this mindset of like self-accountability and of, right, the way I live and the life I live is really in my own hands. Like, I can really control this. And then once you can actually grasp that, look, I can change things, then There's no limit to what it is you want to achieve. You can really do whatever you want if you believe, like, it's all in your hands. Now there is going to be external factors, of course, but all you can do is focus on what you can do.
Now see, if you don't do something starting tomorrow that'll make a difference, guess what? It's gonna be the same. And see, that way you can guess what the next 5 years are gonna be like. Look at the last 5. Because the next 5 are gonna be like the last 5 unless you, major key, tomorrow, change it all. Or change a little, or change something, or don't change. It's choice time. You can do whatever you want. But it's nice to know any day you wish you can change your whole life. If you want to be wealthy,
bro. That was interesting. That was good. I'm just gonna read the comments really quick. Work harder on yourself than you do on any job. I don't know how I missed that sentence, actually. I don't know when he said that, but I must be tired. I must have just missed it. But that's facts, though. Work harder on yourself than you do on any job. The fact that these lectures are available for no charge is something we take for granted. Yeah, you was dropping some free game. You just dropping free gems. And let's read this one. It's 2025, and he was talking in a seminar in 1891 or 1981. Sorry, man, I'm tired, but fucking hell, yeah, 1981. Yeah, I saw that as well, and I was like, when he said 1981, I said, no way. He was dropping these gems back then. Like, this guy's posted this comment 3 months ago. Like, it's 2025. Like, insane. But my overall thoughts on Jim John, I believe it's Jim John. Yeah, very well spoken. Like I said, I don't know him too well. I actually don't know what business ventures he ever really explored, to be honest. But from what I have seen of him, just clips on social media or whatever, he's very well spoken, very good speaker, very like charming and comedic at the same time, which I understand now. That's probably how he gained such a huge following. But also not just funny, but full of knowledge as well. He really did like drop some absolute gems in that you can, I feel like, almost apply on so many different aspects of life, no matter what it is you're particularly trying to chase, or no matter what your end goal is. But yeah, shout out to Jim John. That was a good one. I can't sit here and say I didn't learn, or I didn't hear anything interesting. Yeah, he definitely had that. He had that winner's mindset. I'm gonna actually look him up now really quick. Sorry. He was an American entrepreneur, motivational speaker, and he wrote loads of books in relation to wealth and happiness. Interesting. Very interesting. But yeah, I want to wrap it up there. James John. My apologies. I think I called him. Oh, he does go by Jim John as well. Okay, James John or Jim John. I'm going to wrap it up there. And yeah, let me know who I should do a little video on next. Let me know. But yeah, I'm out.
I gotta be rich before it's all over. I ain't tryna live life low risk. I ain't tryna get by. I gotta be rich before it's all over. Yeah, I don't wanna freeze my